Girl, I thought I had lost today's footage. I thought I lost the footage for today's vlog, and then I found it. He is a waymaker, a ram in a bush, a lily in the valley. I am so excited to share this vlog with you all today. It is actually one of my favorite in our entire Wedding Chronicles series. Go back and watch the previous two if you haven't already seen them. This is episode 3 now in the series, and today we're doing something very special, which is our engagement shoot. We're also going down to Charlottesville to do a tasting for our wedding cocktails. We're not going to have a cake, but we're going to have a good cocktail. Now the bar going to be lit, so stay tuned for that. And we are kicking things off with the Q&A. And that was such an important moment for me because I asked you all over on IG, what questions did you have? Y'all got deep. I got deep. And I really, really hope you enjoy it. It is a blessing to be able to capture these moments. And in the time that we live in right now as a Black queer couple as well, it's meaningful to me to live and to love out loud. And so I appreciate all your support and your love and your prayers. Y'all already know how I feel about you. Let's get into today's vlog. Hey good people, it is Tishara from Politics and Fashion, here today with a lot of glow on my face. I have my Simply Human mirror right here. It's a magnifying mirror and lighted clutch for makeup, sister. Okay, and I also have Bae. Bae, you want to say hello?
What? Hi.
We're going to do a quick Q&A while I get ready. I'm going to do my makeup for our engagement photo shoot today. Now, I'm not going to try to talk through every makeup step with you all because I want my makeup to look good. Again, it is our engagement photo shoot, but I will pop up products on the screen as I apply them, and I'm going to be chit-chatting with Bae. I'm going to try to focus, girl, so y'all wish me luck. That is the first part of this video, and we'll take you to the Library of Congress, which is our location for our shoot. I'm also going to show you my dress, which I'm very excited about, y'all. And then we're going to flash back and take you to our cocktail tasting with a bar called Mobile Bar in Charlottesville, Virginia. The cocktails were delicious, just newsflash, y'all. I already did a review on TikTok. I couldn't help myself. Make sure you were following me everywhere because by the time I get here, child, you probably missed something, okay? So, makeup, Q&A, photo shoot, cocktails, you're in for a good one. Subscribe to the channel now, like the video now. Let's get started. Bae, are you ready with the first question?
Yep. Keeping on brand with the question that the thing you just said.
Okay.
The question is, would you ever consider blogging your daily life?
Okay, I'm going to repeat it for you all too because we only have one mic and I want to make sure you can hear it. Someone said, would you ever consider vlogging your daily life? The answer is yes, I have considered it. The answer is no, I'm not prepared to do it right now. I think it takes a level of organization that I don't have to give y'all. I just did a quick Sephora and MAC run yesterday, so a couple new products will be in the video. And also, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes vlogs are boring. You say this to me a lot. You be like, what are you watching? Vlogging for me is a different skill set and one that takes like nuance and time to develop. All vlogs are not created equal. Even though it's your real life, in order to engage viewers, you still need like a storyline. I still need to know the beginning, middle, and end. Where are we headed? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Are you teaching me something? Are you showing me something new? Are you sharing your mindset? Can I get a little bit of authenticity? Like, I don't know. I think the people who do it well, obviously, my sis Monroe kills it. She gives us reality TV. She gives us a produced television show, sometimes twice a week, at least once a week. That is so difficult to do. And until I'm ready to kind of produce high caliber content like that, I think I'm just going to sit down and talk to the camera.
Okay. So, next question is, how do you prioritize your consulting, podcasts, and content and not face burnout?
How do I prioritize my consulting, podcast, and content and not face burnout is the next question. I'm going to pluck my eyebrows a little bit on this side. So the reality is that I've had to learn as a solopreneur that balance is a myth. And sometimes you're just going to be in a season where you are going to be giving one part of your business a lot more love and attention than the other. And the work for me is to not try to do it all. And sometimes what I have to actually say to myself is, I'm just not doing that right now. I'm just not producing a YouTube video this week. I'm just going to fall off on shorts. IG will see me when they see me. And it doesn't mean that I'm not working. It just means that I've had to prioritize. And saying that to myself affirmatively almost gives me permission. I often say I'm a really bad boss to myself. So you have to be okay with things not always performing at 100%. That's just what it is. And so organization helps a lot. To answer the question directly, organization helps a whole lot. I use Asana, which is a project management tool that I use to communicate with my contractors, but also for scheduling my own content out. So it's a content calendar, and it also is where I hold all of my projects and where I tend to communicate with people the most who are part of my team. The other thing, as I just mentioned, is learning how to outsource. I had someone tell me she owned daycares, and I probably shared this with you all before. Years ago when I was still working in luxury retail, I asked her what the secret was to her success and how she had been able to grow her business, and she said, I outsourced. She said, I was okay with taking less if it meant that I could delegate in the short term. So I took less short term to have greater long-term gains. And that's how I see my business, especially now. So I have about 5, subcontractors or contractors, all W-9, no staff. Again, I am a solopreneur, but I contract out my video editing, my LTK/newsletter. My goddaughter does that. I taught her how to start her own LLC, so she's taking on other clients as well. I have a policy associate. And I have multiple people who support me on my InfraBL work, Movement for Black Lives work. And I also have an assistant. And I'm looking now for the possibility of a project manager so that I can make sure all of the verticals of my work that you just mentioned in that question are working seamlessly. The last thing I'll say is I also just have a good partner who will be like, it's time to stop.
What's the salary range for the new project manager? I think I might know somebody.
She said, what's the salary range for the new project manager? You don't know nobody. We can't work together, y'all. I love you so much. And because I love her, I know that we can't work together. Because let me tell you one thing about me. This probably isn't surprising, but as a leader in my business, I am like declarative, and I don't want to use the term cutthroat because that sounds like the worst part of capitalism. I'm not out here like Donald Trump, you're fired. But I also don't take a lot of BS. We're going to get the work done. We're going to do it at a high level or we're moving on. And I can't fire my bae. But she probably would fire me because she's the same way.
This person said, I respect and admire your authenticity. What motivates you to stay true to yourself?
Ooh, okay. It's so funny because if I'm being honest,
That looks like measles.
This does not look like measles. This is a color corrector, babe. And the next time when I ask you what's a color corrector, you'll know, okay? It's a very important step in the process. Janae taught me this. Thank you very much. I get that compliment often, and I do see it as that a compliment. It's just that, a compliment. Here's the thing. I think that one of the reasons why I come across as authentic is because it's part of my activism. It's that I don't shrink or hide parts of myself, especially through the lens of like respectability politics and the belief that my blackness, my queerness, my boldness, my loudness, me turning up with my family, having a good time, you know, me sitting at my grandmama kitchen table and learning how to make salmon croquettes. Like, I don't believe those things are any less than the time I may have spent arguing a case in court, the time I may have spent in meetings at the White House. In fact, who I am and like my culture, my DNA, and all parts of myself, that's my superpower. And so why would I hide that? And so many parts of white supremacy and like assimilation culture tells us that we should hide. And I've just never been that person because I see it for what it is. And when I started my platform, there was no performance. Nobody was out here pretending. There was no money to be made back in 2011 when I started blogging. I think people may have just been like playing around with Google ads, but not really. And so whether it was Ami Song or Karen Britchick or so many other people, like people were just talking about what they loved and going places and documenting their everyday lives. And myself is all I knew how to be. And I just kind of wish more of us would go back there. While I'm happy we have been able to earn a living from content creation, I have to be honest that I do think there's something to be said about people who are getting into this just as a profession and just as a way to make money. It zaps a bit, not all, but for some, it zaps some of the creativity and authenticity out of this. And that's why I call myself a creator and not an influencer.
All right, kind of keeping with this theme. This person asked, with all that you've overcome in life, how do you manage to keep your joy?
Oh, Lord, y'all asking some deep questions. How do I manage to keep my joy? Spirituality and faith, of course, that's my bedrock. Y'all, I often say I grew up underneath the church. And so I got a praying grandmama. I come from a long tradition of black church goers, and even if I'm not like an active member of a church or that's not an active part of my daily experience any longer, because I do think it's hard. There's a bit of a conflict as a queer person I can have with the church. It doesn't mean that I'm not still like fully culturally Christian and I don't believe in a higher power, because I do. And I believe that, as we all know, if he brought you to it, what he gonna do? What he gonna do, baby? If he brought you to it, he gonna do what?
Bring you through it.
He gonna bring you through it. And so it doesn't mean that I ignore the pain or the difficult times, but I just feel like resiliency is in my blood. It's my birthright. Like, shit is hard now, but it ain't gonna be that way forever. I have too many examples of that in my life and the life of people around me. And so I grieve, I feel the feels, but one thing I'm going to do is get back up and keep fighting, because this life is one that I dreamed of. And so I'm going to smile about it. I'm going to fight. I'm going to use joy as a tool of resistance, because you only get one. And again, I do those things from a spirit of an activist. Somewhere somebody is waiting on you to heal. And that actually is an affirmation that brought me out of an abusive relationship. That somewhere someone is waiting on me to be my highest self so that I can support them to be delivered. So that's the work. And I can only be joyful about it.
All right, babe. Moving on to questions that are a little lighter.
Okay.
Word on the street.
I'm gonna add a little bit more foundation, y'all, just because I'm going to obviously be on camera today.
Somebody said, word on the street.
Not word on the street. Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What
They
they
said
say?
white toes are out. Do you have a new color? So the question I have for you.
That's blasphemous. Okay, go ahead.
Are white toes about the actual color toes, or is it a way of life?
Okay.
A mentality?
She said, are white toes about the actual color, or is it a way of life and a mentality? It's both.
Because this person said, Word on the street is white toes are out. So what's the new color?
So what's the new? It ain't no new color. It's Tony Montana, Cocaine, Flippin' Bricks, Miami-Dade, Port of Miami, Ricky Ross, the real Rick Ross.
Those people coming
white.
after you. Those people are coming after you.
The real Rick Ross, white. It's white toes for hoes. Now, if you don't know anything about white toenail season, it is a call to action. It is a... It's a feeling. It is a manifesto. It is a way of life. Okay? And it all started because my cousin Elle, who y'all know, once said to me, Shy, why are your toes always white? White toes are for thoughts. And I said, thank you. I love thoughts. And thought stands for that hoe over there, okay? Now, I've taken this and turned it into a social-political praxis.
Break that down for
A social-political praxis, okay? And for me... it really is rooted in black queer feminism and the fact that we have the right to bodily autonomy and to do some hoe shit.
Shondo.
You see what I'm saying?
Can
all
my
right.
toes be white?
Now let me preach your sermon.
Can I paint my toes white?
You cannot. Okay. Now listen. You can, babe. But you would never paint your toes white. Exactly. So.
That's weird.
So it starts simply with manifesto principle number 1, thou toes shall be white. And then manifesto principle number 2 is thou shall be glowed up, meaning it comes from the inside, okay? Manifesto principle number 3 is that thou shall have diversity. That means you got to have that lineup if you're out here, you're dating. It's about to be white toenail season, y'all. It launches on Memorial Day. So you got to be working on your starting 5 right now. You got to have that diversity. And then principle number 4 is thou shalt leave them on red, meaning never make yourself too available. It's just some simple dating principles that I came up with, especially for my hetero sisterin who I know struggle to this regard, especially when it comes down to just being too eager to receive male attention. And we're not doing that.
Okay.
Not during white toenail season for sure.
So, can you be thought adjacent, a thought ally? Can you have white toes?
My toes, yes. I do, and I can.
Okay.
Yep, yeah, because you can do thought shit in your relationship. Let me tell you something. There are our thoughts. That is like our A1. They are out there and they are doing the Lord's work. Okay. And then we flank them. We provide support as thought adjacents. That means you got your toe in a little bit of whole shit, but you don't do it full time.
Got it.
Okay. You just a little. Maybe you hoe on the weekend.
Okay.
And then you can have your thought allies.
All right. So, thought allies, thought adjacent. Next question is, how did you know your partner was the one? Be careful here. Be careful.
How did I know my partner, as in you?
Yeah.
Was the one? I'm actually still debating that. I'm hoping by the wedding date, the answer will have been revealed. Okay, so I knew. So we had been talking for probably about maybe a month or a few weeks before we were able to go out. And we had really been building up like a nice rapport, right? Like we had the same humor and same interests. And so I was like, okay, this person is at least going to be cool to hang out with, even if nothing romantic actually comes from it.
That's what you thought about me.
I liked you, babe, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I was not friend-zoning you. I was like, we haven't met in real life, but I know I like this person is what I'm trying to say, okay?
Okay.
So when we met, you got there before me. I don't need you to add anything to this story.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I don't need you to add anything to this story.
You were 45 minutes
I was
late.
a little tardy for the party, but I arrived.
45 minutes late.
I got there, and when I walked in, I saw you before you saw me. I looked up, and I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to see the person that you're going to marry. I just instantly knew. And I cannot explain it. If any of y'all have ever had that feeling, you can't describe it. It's just like a release. You just feel like, my person. That's just how it was. And so obviously we hit it off, and you thought I didn't like you. I was just very nervous. And you have treated me, it's kind is not the word. Like, you have spoiled and nurtured and affirmed every part of me since the moment we met. And so it just continued. And that's how I knew. I also knew because it was really important to me in this season, especially as a queer person, that I partnered with someone who, number one, fully embraced all parts of who they are and had a family that supported and loved and affirmed them. Comes from a close-knit family as I do, and shepherds that as like a high value. Someone who loves travel and who loves adventure, check. Someone who's responsible, practical, but also silly and can have a good time. And you're all of those things. And someone who, I'm not going to lie, can like hold shit down to where I don't feel like I have to always lean into that trope of being the strong one or the independent one. Like, I could be gentle in this season, and I've never really had that. So,
I love you, babe.
I love you. That's how I knew.
Keeping with that theme, you know, when you saw me, first time you saw me, you were like, that's my person. Mm-hmm. I don't believe you, but okay. This person asked, what is the best thing about being engaged?
That's a good question. I think it's the anticipation of a life that you're going to build together. Like, you're in this really special time that I don't think you ever get back. So enjoy your engagement period is the advice I would give to everybody. Don't let the wedding planning overtake. She's laughing. Because wedding planning can be tough. It can teach you things about your partner that you didn't know. And it can challenge and stretch the relationship.
Stop right there.
Yes.
Teach you things about your partner that you didn't know.
What did
you learn about me?
She said, what did I learn about her?
During this process?
I learned that you could have actually planned our whole wedding. While I'm someone who's very big picture and I don't enjoy details as much until I have to pay attention to the details, you are detail oriented out the gate. And we had never planned anything together, so how was I supposed to know that?
No, sir.
You know what I mean? So it actually can teach you a lot of positive things about your partner. And also, if you're not prepared to face those things, or if you're, struggling or going back and forth about the vision, it can be a tough time. So I say, look past the tenuous moments, and like you and I have both decided, find a place that's going to bring you joy in the planning process. But yeah, that's what I learned about you. Did you learn anything about me?
Yeah, that there are times where you're definitely type A, and there's times that you're type B, and I'm surprised that your more type B personality is coming out during this wedding planning phase, because I thought that you were going to be a bridezilla.
She said she thought I was going to be a bridezilla, and that there are times when I'm type B and when I'm type A, and my type B is coming out in the wedding planning, and that surprises you.
But probably because my type A is coming out.
Yeah, we got to have balance.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want this to be a really special time for you and a really special day, and I think what you have helped to kind of recenter and kind of bring back for me is that we're going to have lots of days, right? And it's not just the wedding day with our family and friends, that things are going to go wrong and some things are going to go right, but at the end of the day, we're going to be together, and that's what's most important. So, I've been able to step back and relax a little bit more because I was on one.
You heard it here first, people. She said she was on one. I think you just really want everything to be perfect, and that's beautiful. Yeah, and it's not that I don't. It's just I have faith that it's going to be beautiful. And I also get decision fatigue very easily. And a lot of things came at me fast, which gave me like a sense of overwhelm. And I cannot, again, I'm a big picture person. I cannot be rushed into decisions. It just felt like a lot was happening quickly. And I'm not one of those people that's been planning my wedding since I was 8.
Yeah, that's fair. But here's a word.
Okay,
Faith
let's.
without works is dead. Right?
Amen.
So you got to put in the work.
You got to put the work in.
I'm willing to do that.
Okay. Okay.
Early mornings. This person asked, when's the wedding? And I would say, please don't give all the details, but this person wants to know, when is the wedding?
Okay, when's the wedding? The wedding is going to be this year. And I think I remember from scanning them, somebody also said where. I'm not going to say exactly where, but if you've been watching the Wedding Chronicles videos, you probably have already surmised where. Let me just say that although we are about 15 minutes outside of D.C., the wedding was never going to be in D.C. proper because the expense is just
Egregious.
unconscionable. It is absolutely egregious, and I don't have the capacity to make it make sense. As grown people who have been around the block a few times as far as our age and our life experiences are concerned, we're not having $100,000 wedding. Absolutely. Like what Iyanla said, not on my watch. And that may also surprise people. I think there's something about my brand or my public presence that makes people think that things have to be over the top and grand. And I get it, right? I had a 100K party that was beautiful down at the Line Hotel. If that was your experience and if you were able to join us, you probably thought, I know her wedding is going to be, yeah, you know, a reenactment of Coming to America. It's not. It's going to be quaint and chic and beautiful, and it's going to look like us. And I think the people, we're having a party.
That's it.
We're having a party. And the people we love are going to be there to celebrate with us.
Party. Good time.
And everybody's just
Spread
going
your
to
hair
party.
out.
If I don't want nobody's makeup to be in place by the end of the night. If so, you didn't party.
Yeah.
These colors are delicious. It's a new Patrick Ta. I'm with her. Oh, this is fantastic. Let's see.
All right. This person says, are you going on a honeymoon to an exotic location?
We are going on a honeymoon, y'all, almost immediately after our wedding because we don't want to delay and not prioritize it, which I think is way too easy to do. And our honeymoon from the jump was just as important to us as the wedding. Exotic, it's in Europe. It's a country I've never been to before. And it's really important to us that we get multiple climates. And so it's going to be some just like exploration. How can I say this without saying where? It's going to be exploration in a country that is beautiful, countryside and big cities. But it's going to also include some beach time, which is really important to me.
All right. Well, tell the people that if it were up to me, we would be sleeping outside with the tigers and lions and the bears.
They really wanted to go on a safari, but she made a mistake and said that I could choose. And so I did not choose the safari, although I would love to go on one. It just didn't feel like honeymoon to me. So yeah, I chose something else. And we'll take y'all with us to at least part of it, but not the whole thing. So you guys stay tuned, girl. So for me, the honeymoon is about kind of luxuriating. So I want to go to the spa. I want to eat good food. I want to drink some wine. I just want to live softly for the amount of time that we're going to be there. And I want to be there for as long as possible. I want the people to look up and be like, do y'all live here? I just feel like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity and I don't want to take it for granted. It's just a really special moment and a really special trip. And again, for me, just as important, if not more than the wedding, because I mean, that's kind of our first big trip as wife and wife. So.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay, she says she gotta go, y'all. I guess that is it for our Q&A. Thank you for folks who submitted questions. I'm gonna say finish my makeup and I will talk to y'all again in just a moment. Okay, friends, the makeup is done. I think it came out really nice. Took my time. Using the same lip that I have been doing since Janae taught me. It is the color Magnolia. It's the lipstick by Hourglass, lined with MAC Chestnut liner. And I added a new gloss. Let me tell you the name. It is this one by Too Faced. It's their Pillow Balm Lip Treatment. And it's called Berry Jam's Kiss. I could also wear this by itself, but I wanted to add a little bit more of a purplish hue. Girl, look at that cheekbone. Everything will be linked down below. Let me get this dress on. We're running a little bit behind schedule. I got my dress halfway on. Not quite there. But I want to put on this body shimmer. My friend Joe got me for my birthday. And it was so perfect because I had been wanting this because Day used it. Hey, Day, my makeup artist in New York. It's by Patrick Ta, and it's called She's on Vacation. Girl. And I just want a nice glow. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. My God. The melanin was already rich, sun-kissed, and blessed by the Most High. You put a little bit of that She's on Vacation. Babe. Babe. All right, let me get greased up with this, and then we'll get the dress on. Okay, my friends, I am back. Decided on earrings by Zara, and I forgot my One Star setting spray to lock this thing in. Gotta lock that thing in because we want it to last all day. Have tennis bracelet here. I thought that would pair nicely with the engagement ring for the photos. We'll probably get something because we both have the Lion pinky ring by David Yurman. We'll get a couple photos with that. David Yurman here. Free maiden bangles because I gotta feel like me at the end of the day. I think this is it. Guys, I'm getting married. Well, not today, but I'm gonna do a mix today of the Baccarat Rouge and the Santal. Ooh, not that you have to mix the Baccarat with anything, but the Baccarat is a very known fragrance, so I like to keep people on their toes. So let's mix it with a little bit of the Le Labo. The dress has some piping in it, so it's giving me a little bit of a cinched in waist, which I love. Again, the sleeves are the moment. I'm gonna put some of the She's on Vacation on my legs too to make them shine. The shoes are by Zara. They're a pair of mules that I got at the beginning of the season. And that is the engagement shoot look. All right, I'll see you down at the Library of Congress for a moment, and we're gonna pop from there and go to our cocktail tasting. Okay, we just made it, and I'm reunited with Marissa. Reunited! Okay, so Marissa used to shoot me all the time, y'all, when she was here. She now lives in Colorado, but she travels, so I will have her information linked down below. This is about to be magical. And the shoot was a big success, y'all. It lasted for about an hour and a half. I think I told you that Marissa is in Colorado right now, but she travels all the time for shoots. She actually is our wedding photographer, and with the package that we selected, we got a complimentary engagement shoot as well. And I love that because that means all of our photos connected to the wedding are going to have the same kind of thematic touch. And I just love her aesthetic and what she does. So again, I'll have her information linked down below. Now, today's venue was the Library of Congress. It was packed. It's a Saturday morning, but it was the only time we could make it work based upon Marissa's trip. If you're in the area, though, I would highly recommend shooting there if you need photos for prom, graduation, engagement, even wedding if you're eloping or doing a courthouse wedding. It's just beautiful inside, and I thought I had been before, but I actually haven't. It's 100% free, and they don't give you a hard time about photography. No permit is necessary. They just don't want you to shoot on the stairs, which is understandable. Stay to the end of this video, and you might get a sneak peek of the pictures. And make sure you follow me on IG so you don't miss a thing. All right, y'all, let's now flash back to the bar tasting. Hey y'all, we are getting ready to head down to Charlottesville, and I wanted to talk you through my OOTD really quickly. First up, today's fragrance is the MFK Baccarat Rouge 540. I haven't worn this in a while. I just wanted to try out a new fragrance today. Something that was bold and that was going to last, and that definitely describes this scent. I haven't decided on my sunnies yet. Did a very light beat and some lashes, but definitely I'm back in my gold moment, the gilded age, okay, of my jewelry. And my first hole are my LaFleur hoops. I think they still have these. I think they do because I love how chunky they are, but they're not heavy. They're not heavy, and I have been wearing another pair of earrings by a black-owned brand called Second Wind or By Second Wind. I've linked them for you all before. Y'all have asked about them. Yes, they are heavy, but I can wear these all day. Dior necklace. T-shirt you probably saw in my capsule wardrobe video that came out recently. It is the Jordan, how many is that? 7 championships. My belt is by far. My skirt is the cargo acid wash black denim skirt by Urban Revival. Sneakers are my Adidas Sambas. I feel like I want me a pair of like Nike Air Maxes, but I can never find the pair that I love. Threw on a blazer on top just to kind of make the look feel smart and put together. It's an interesting trip because first we're doing the tasting at a restaurant, but then we're going to a cookout. So take the blazer off and we're cookout ready. You see where I'm headed? Again, I got to figure out what my sunnies are. Same jewelry, rings everywhere else. And I'm probably going to grab Keisha today just to throw you in it. So let's head down to Charlottesville. We are almost in Charlottesville. Charlottesville, y'all, I think I may have said is about 2 hours outside of the DC Metro. Obviously, it's where UVA is, but a lot of folks like to come to this area because they have wineries everywhere. And it's just beautiful. Like it's all this green, hills everywhere. It's a beautiful place just to come for a nice little overnight trip or weekend vacation. So our bartenders are here, of course. That's why we're pulling up here today. But one of them, my fiance knows because they went to high school together and they were friends throughout college, back in the small town where they're from in this same Shenandoah Valley area.
Elementary school.
Oh, they went to elementary school together, so they've known each other for a very long time. And that's what our wedding is really all about. We want to make sure that even with our vendors, if we can, there are people who we have close and personal relationships with. And so Leah is one of the business owners. Her partner's name is Wandy. They both have deep roots in this area as far as being mixologists and creating craft cocktails. Now Wandy still works at a few of the local restaurants and bars, and he creates drinks and does menus for them, just like that dude. And Leah has branched off and she is the primary person behind their business called The Go Bar. I'll make sure everything is linked down below because the really dope part about them is that they really lean into this whole vintage aesthetic and they can pull up to your wedding or to your event. Now, our venue is indoors. We had initially thought we were going to have some outdoor components, but just for a couple reasons. Number one, budget. I ain't even gonna hold you. But also logistics. We're gonna do everything in one space, and we're gonna work with something vintage to make sure that the whole bar area is curated. We're gonna have a main bar and then kind of a sidekick bar, a junior bar, because we don't want folks to have to wait in long lines to get a drink. And obviously there are a million different bartenders that you could go to. For us, one of the reasons why we really wanted to go with them outside of the hometown connection is also because we like to drink. And we, especially my fiance, know a good cocktail when we taste it. They do everything from their own mixers, their own organic syrups. They ordered special spices for us. Like, these people are true to it, not new to it. They're creating cocktails that are going to give you a moment and an experience that are not just for Instagram. And ain't nothing wrong with a cute little padow. But when you actually have a sophisticated palate, you can taste the difference. That's all I'm saying. Okay? I don't want a whole bunch of simply lemonade with some real liquor. Now, if you've come to my wedding and that's what you get, you need to check me for high fever because I'm not well. I am not well. And so we decided to make the investment, of course, in bartenders that really know the business and that are going to give us the business at the wedding. And I'm excited to taste everything because one of the things they had us to do was to create like a story about who we are, and then they're gonna create a cocktail based upon that. So my cocktail, y'all, we're gonna have one of each of us, and then we'll have one together. So my cocktail is either gonna be called
The Polk County Princess.
The Polk County Princess. But then there was another one about something in Baddie.
Baddie and
The Belle and the Baddie. Yeah. So it's either the Belle and the Baddie, or we're gonna name it the Polk County Princess. And it like tells a story about who I am, and they're gonna create a drink based upon that. And we did a whole meeting where we talked about flavor profiles so that they could get an idea of what we like. So they know I love champagne, they know I love gin, they know I love passion fruit, for example. So I'm excited to see what they have. And then my fiance's cocktail is called
the slow burn.
The slow burn. The slow burn. Or
What is it, man?
Do you know?
Hip-hop backpacker.
Oh, or the hip-hop backpacker. Or the hip-hop backpacker. So one of those two. And she loves bourbon. And she loves Manhattan or an old fashioned. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be a play off of those two things. But they asked us not just kind of what flavors we like in a drink, but what flavors we like in general. Because they were like, this isn't about what you would go for in a dessert or what your favorite kind of like fruit is or not, right? Because they said, do you like apple? And I love apples, but I don't think I like apples in a cocktail. And they were like, let us do the work. If you like apple, we can probably figure out a way to make something that's complex, that's not apple forward, but still would pair well with the spirit or something else. So rhubarb, they asked us. I was like, I don't think I ever had no rhubarb. Star fruit, dragon fruit. They asked about a lot of like herbs too, right? Sage, they asked about thyme, saffron, they asked about. So we're excited. We are very excited to see what they came up with. I've never done a cocktail tasting before, so I don't know, do they give you like a little bit of each, or we're about to see, y'all. Let's do this together.
The vanilla, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Right?
So vanilla.
I mean, it's like vanilla, but
It's ridiculous.
It's got a little bit of.
I'm ordering spices and being like, in the morning coffee.
I'm telling you, burlap and barrel.
Right. So you said you put the spice in vodka.
Yes, so it's infused. So this one, for instance, the Nyanza Villa and the Grains of Paradise, which I have been wanting to use, is in here.
This
And
is
I
how
did
bitters are
not
made.
filter it out yet.
Same way the
I didn't
bitters
know
are made.
that.
You just get a bunch of barks and herbs and stuff, and you just let them marinate with
That's the
vodka
Grains
or
of Paradise and the
high-proof
Nyanza
vodka,
Villa.
high-proof liquor, and that becomes the bitter later.
This is good too.
Oh, the hibiscus?
Oh.
Hey, I want to try it.
Wait, what is that? Let me see if I can catch what I'm smelling.
Okay.
Should I try one of the?
Oh, I don't know. What is it?
So it's this, and it's that Nyanza vanilla
Let me try one of these.
together.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till they taste that.
Oh, that smells so good, y'all. Ooh. Okay, this is us doing the first taste test. This is the joint cocktail?
Nope.
No.
That's the bourbon one.
This is
This is yours. So you try this.
You try it.
Okay, same time then. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's gonna get you right. That's gonna. But I taste like the caramelly
It's a-
stout.
It's we made a simple syrup out of beer.
Yes.
And I would drink that, and that's the thing. Like,
would.
I'm not a big bourbon
You would drink
drinker.
that.
I would drink this.
You always say you're not a big bourbon drinker.
But when I get a good mix, like a good craft cocktail with bourbon in it, I do enjoy it. But it's hard to do it. Not your. I don't want a Manhattan, but
Because it's straight liquor.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah, that's nothing. It's like-
that's what she drinks.
It's always good.
But it's that orange and that like this has the stout.
Yes, it has the,
It's got
the
this one,
founders.
the
so it
founders,
has
which
notes
is,
of chocolate, notes of coffee.
Roasted
Right,
coffee
don't you suck up?
and chocolate.
And here's
It's
the
refreshing too.
Not drinking.
Polk County Princess
You can't do it.
coming up.
All right.
You smell it? Oh, it smells good.
You don't.
Baby. And then we gotta do this. Okay.
Yeah. What's it give, man?
Okay, now we
Yeah.
You just say you like raspberry. You say you like raspberry.
now we gotta add a spray of this and then do it.
But it's not raspberry forward though. It's
not.
like fresh
Doesn't
and
look good.
light
Yeah.
and delicate,
Yes.
but it still packs a punch like the Polk County Princess. Yeah.
Okay, now let's do this.
Put a little bit of that in that thing.
Put a little bit of nothing.
Ooh. You gotta put a little. Yes.
Razzle dazzle.
This is the wild
Because then you're smelling that.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
That makes it better.
It's it.
No ice. I don't know that it needs. Oh, you don't even want to put it up to you. Just smell it.
No ice.
Just yeah.
No ice. No.
Shake and coat up.
Smells delicious.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's that
And
girl.
the color's beautiful.
She's that girl.
She's that girl. Yeah. We have a potential couples cocktail now. It has mezcal because we both love mezcal.
Look at the color. No, I'm okay.
Because the
Oh really? I think that guava is.
Right. Maybe
I mean, it can be a droplet.
that needs to be tweaked.
I taste the honey. I think maybe for me, more citrus, something that's gonna give it a little bit more bite.
Yeah. Lime. Did you add
Yeah, but the honey pairs well with the mezcal. I've never had mezcal and honey drink.
the saffron?
The saffron agave.
Saffron
like-
agave.
Oh, it's agave.
Saffron agave,
I like
but
the smoke
but-
with the sweet.
Yeah.
all right. So this is the Nyanza vanilla and the grains of paradise. We're just gonna layer a little bit of this on top. Okay.
I wonder if
Nyanza vanilla and the grains of paradise. We're gonna layer a little bit of that on top. Mezcal is the spirit, and then we have a saffron agave as well. So it's giving you some sweet and some smoky at the same time. We're playing. We're
I
cooking.
like the idea of,
Me too,
of
like
the. I like the color of having the.
Me too.
I like the idea of having saffron in there because people don't put down drinks at all.
Yeah.
So having that, I think makes everything elevated.
Look, it looks like a sunset.
It does.
Like having a saffron cocktail is a lot of bartenders don't use it, and I think having that at your wedding would be a really cool,
Yeah.
I have compost. I
a
can
really cool thing to have. Something different, and something unusual.
Let's see what we got this time.
Sweetness that I don't love and drink.
Yeah, it did actually.
Yeah,
Right.
it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
What is that one again that you just layered?
This is the Nyanza vanilla and the grains of paradise.
The vanilla did something nice too.
Okay.
I like my drinks really like spirit forward,
yeah, I know.
but I know other people don't.
Yeah.
So I need to do some on the side,
Yeah.
right? Be like, but I think that's good because it's sweet enough.
We're gonna add a little bit of soda water.
Slow burn.
Wandy said yes.
That was a fun homework song.
So
Look how the
Yeah.
cup soda did.
Enlightened it.
it did
Yeah, enlightened
in
it.
a good way, in a way that
In a good way for me.
Okay.
In a good way for me.